So even though, as I said before, I do not belong to a specific school. I do not belong to test-driven development, not belong to behavior-driven development. I do not belong to any other school. I would like to give you an idea what the test-driven development. So you can have an idea about what's that, because it has to do with test. And you are going as well to follow an approach similar to test development. Even you can call it test-driven development. So test-driven development is a soft development practice that emphasizes writing the test before you write the code. It's a kind of a backward approach. So instead of writing the code, then write the test, you first write the test, then write the code. So it follows a cyclical process. You make your test to fail. You make a failing test. The idea is to make sure that your test fails. I have done that. I have make sure that you have done that during the course. So when you write the minimum code to make it pass, the minimum code to make it pass, just return the right value. So you know your test. The idea behind it, that to make a test fail, it may sound like a foolish approach, but it's not. For example, it happened to me a lot as I was coding using promise. Promise is always return true. So you think that it's passing, it's not passing, because the promise is always true. So you should always make a test pass. I mean, it's hard for me to explain, because the best way for to learn is by doing. But believe me, this foolish approach can be useful. So in the third step of the test development, they called refactoring. Refactoring is when we do the code. You do the code in a different way. You do the code in a way that is better, is more well written. But the reason why you should make sure your test fails, because when you redo the code, you cannot break the function. So that you should make a test there to make sure that you are cleaning your code, but you're not breaking your code. So that's the cycle they like to use. They write a failing test. They make the test to pass by making the minimum amount of code as we are going to do. They refactor the test. So when you refactor the test, you may eventually fail the test. So you should make it pass again. So that's a cycle until you have your code work. At the beginning, it can be a little bit confusing, but it's very straightforward. So that's what I like to do. Like run the test, write code specifically to make sure that do not fail, then repeat, refactor, and repeat. So it's a cycle. They do run the test, write the code, make sure that when it fails, make it pass. In the beginning, it can be a little bit confusing, but it's so we are going to see one example. Chatbot should return that text in, text out, such as "How are you?" Respond, "Yes, I'm fine." Are you an artificial intelligence? Yes, I'm artificial intelligence. So text in, text out. That you're supposed to test. So first it will fail, send a number, as we're going to see in the course. Then we are going to make just to return a text. So you make the test fail, return a number. Then you're going to make the test pass, send a text. Then you are going to redo. You are going to develop. Then you are going to develop the code. But now you know the test fails. Now you are protected against fail. So always remember, make sure your test fails. It may sound like a foolish approach. The first time I saw test development, I thought, well, that's all very foolish. Why should I make a test fail if I know that it will fail? But it's important to make sure that your test is failing. So that's all for now. Hope you enjoyed the course.